Hello, man. Welcome to the Quickscreen Show. My name is Nate, and I am a football coach. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a good couple weeks of sports action for me. Haven't had a whole lot of football watching going on, but I'm pretty into the WBC right now, World Baseball Classic, and it is bugging the heck out of me that more Americans didn't play on the American team. Now, I'm sure some of them have good excuses, but the problem is I don't know their good excuses, and it really bothers me that we didn't have a lot more stars on that team. Where was Trout? Where's Hamilton? Where's McCutchen? Where's Hamels? Where's Halladay? Where's Greinke? I mean, there's a lot of great American baseball players that weren't there. And once again, we get knocked out. It really bothers me. I mean, baseball was the American sport. It is our game. And then we get beat in it. If you look at all the football stuff going on, they'll do the world football stuff for 19 and under or something. And America just always runs away with it. Do you realize that it's only a matter of time until we can't even make the finals in the World Football Classic? Mark my words, it's going to happen. Your sons, your grandsons are going to watch the U.S. get whooped by Japan in the World Football Classic in 100 years. What I can't figure out is why that is entirely. Part of it is this. A lot of it, I think, let's say the best, the Japanese, even though they got beat by Puerto Rico, the Japanese, it's like they stick to the fundamentals better than the Americans. We got lost with glamour and whatnot. And the second thing is that the Japanese, the Puerto Ricans, they play. And the Americans, oh, it's no big deal. Ticket sales in America to the World Baseball Classic, they're crap. I mean, play the thing in Japan where they actually care. So it really has gotten on my nerves that Americans don't care about America, like making us the best at everything. That's just me. It was one of those things that gets on my nerves. You're probably thinking big deal because not many of you maybe even watch baseball, but to me it's a big deal, and it's been bothering me like crazy. What's on most of our minds right now is probably what we're going to do with our brackets as far as March Madness goes, because that's this week as well. And see, now I'm in a huge dilemma because Miami was going to be my team that I was going to pick to win it all. I'm going with Miami. And then I see the selection show in Illinois, if they can beat Colorado, runs into Miami round 2. And now I've got a problem. Because my brackets, every time Illinois is in the tournament, except for 05 was that they were amazing and they made the finals, lost to North Carolina. Every year they make the tournament, my bracket is shot because I can't pick against the Illini. When they barely squeak their way in, I got them in the Final Four. When they're decent, like a 5 seed or above, I got them winning the whole thing, man. So now they're a 7 seed. I'm looking at my second round matchup of Miami, Illinois, and literally 3 hours earlier, I'm going Miami. I'm picking them to win it all. And now, 3 hours after that, I'm looking at Miami round 2 versus Illinois, and I can't decide right now who I'm going to pick to win that game. See, that's how much of a homer I am. I am so desperate to be from the best town and the best state and the best country ever. And as soon as we find another foreign planet that plays sports, I want to be from the best planet. I mean, I'm crazy like that. So now I can't decide who I'm going to pick to win round 2. Next week's show, I'll let you know who I ended up picking, whether I went with my heart or my brain, because I do acknowledge that Miami is better than Illinois. I'm going to say that, but I cannot say right now that they're going to beat Illinois. Let's talk about football. Today I'm going to share our cross return. Our cross return has been very good to us since I took over as a head coach. Let's see, that was 5 years ago now. It's our kickoff return. It is the only kickoff return we have used in 5 years. Literally the only one. Now that I'm going to a bigger school, there is a chance that we could throw something else in there. I think we might have a little bit more time to work on such things since we'll be a 2-platoon team. But this is literally the only return we've used, and it's been very good to us. We've returned just a couple for touchdowns, but we really seem to get very good returns on a consistent basis. So much so that in the last year or two, the teams in our conference literally never kick deep to us. Never. Now, part of that could be because they're in the same boat I am. They can't find a kicker that can kick deep. So they're not going to. They're going to pooch, they're going to pop up, onside, a lot of the stuff that we do. So that's probably a big part of it. But the other part, I have to believe, has something to do with they don't want to kick to our deep guys because they've grown accustomed to our cross return, and I think that it's kind of dangerous. Again, I could be off here. It might just be chance, and we're only running into teams that don't have good kickers, and they're kicking it shallow all the time on us. But literally, the teams in our conference do not kick deep to us anymore. We did play finally in the playoffs this year, and we played a team that was vastly superior to us. They were one of the best teams in the state. But we still were able to execute our return, and I'll show you guys some film on that in a bit. But right now, let's take a look at film. We'll go to the computer, and I'll walk you through our cross return, our one kickoff return that we've used for 5 years. All right, men, here we are at the computer. Going to open up Playmaker Pro to start, and you'll see our return kind of drawn up here. I've got a generic kickoff team, 1 through 10, and a kicker in the middle. I do understand that no two kickoff teams seem to look alike, so there will be a lot of changes in here, and you'll have to do that, kind of make your small changes via scout team or with a scout team during the week. But let's just look at the basis of this return. It's a cross return, and we're going to number our guys. We're going to do, in this instance, this is return left, okay? So I'm just going to draw this little thing here as to help you understand. This is return left. We're going to return left here. It is something that is called before they get out there. So they know whether they're going left or right. Those are our two calls as far as kick return goes, left or right. Okay, so in this instance, we're going to go left. And let's start back here with my returners. My returners, you're going to line them up about 12 yards apart. We like to say they're connected at the hip with a 12-yard pole. So if this guy moves left as the ball is kicked, he's going to move left. And we do this in preseason like crazy with these two guys. These two guys drill this like crazy. We'll tell him that he's the leader, and the two of them will just mirror. So he'll go backwards, forwards, right, left. And this returner over here just mirrors him. As he goes backwards, he'll go backwards. He moves left, he'll move left. He goes forward, forward, so on and so forth. This returner just mirrors everything that this returner does. When they catch the ball, they both should be even with each other. They attack forward for 5 yards. Both of them go forward for 5, and then they'll cross each other. The rule is the man with the ball goes in front. It doesn't matter whether it's going to be an actual handoff or a fake handoff. The man with the ball goes in front. It's the rule. We talk about it all the time. The kids know it. I think we may have fumbled one handoff in my first year, but I don't remember any since. So the kids are very good at it. And of course, you know who your two stud returners are that you can trust with jobs over other kids on your team that you may not trust with those types of jobs. The bottom line is we're going to create an alley. If this is return left, we're going to create an alley right here around the left hash mark. That's our goal. Somewhere in here, between here and the numbers, should be an alley to run through. These two here, number 1 in the line is going to take number 3, take him right. 4, right. This guy's responsible for number 5 and taking him right. 6, right. 7, right. He double teams number 3 with this edge guy. Take him right. These two returners, this last level, they both kick out number 2 to the left. And this guy is our kick out man. This is your ideal. In an ideal world, it would be a kill shot, but we actually really just teach them to make this block. So here he comes. He wants to take an angle something like this and make this kick out on number 1 over here. Okay, so in theory, you would get a nice kick maybe to the 5, the 1, somewhere in there, and you're going to attack 5 yards together. They're going to cross, and you're going to attack this lane that should open up right through here. Now, understanding that in my experience, we probably make, I would just guess at this, but somewhere between 10 and 20% of the blocks we're supposed to make is how many we make. That is something I would love to get better at. If we could just bring that up to 35 to 40% of the blocks we make,
I think this thing will begin to pop even more so than it already does. Like I said, most of the time now, in 9 games throughout the season, people kick to these guys right here. And we were pretty athletic this year, so we were able to put 4 really good athletes right here that I don't think were that great of options to kick to. But people still stayed away from this until our playoff game when, well, they knew they were better than us and they didn't care. So let's go to the next slide here where I kind of have it drawn up what it would end up looking like. So 3s are supposed to retreat together, block 3 in. As you'll see when we watch film, even though we work with these guys on retreating, a lot of these guys don't retreat. They just stand there and they try to kick him out. It is what it is. We try to continue to coach it the way it's supposed to be. 4, retreat, block 4 this way, 5 right, 6, retreat, right, 7. Notice how 7 is going to come inward. And what I think that does is, as this guy is coming across, these guys are coming inward too. Everyone's converging really towards the middle, and I think that allows, I've seen some cross returns where almost everybody on one side, like a wall return, will really run towards the other side of the field, and I think that can give away which side you want to go to. For ours, everybody seems to be converging to the middle of the field in your first 10 steps, so it's really hard to tell which way we're going at first. At least I believe. Maybe somebody out there has figured it out on us, but I think it's still pretty deceptive that you can't tell which way we're going until, well, it's too late. Then 1, here's his kick out. 2, both of these guys up backs, these third level defenders or returners, are both responsible for number 2 and kicking him out. And here's our returners. You can see, let's pretend the ball got kicked right here. This returner calls for it. He retreats to the right. You can see this returner retreats to the right with him as if they were attached. He catches it, attacks forward for 5, forward for 5. They cross each other. Because it was a return left, he's going to have the ball. Return left was called. He knows he has to hand this off. Here he goes. He's going to go in front, hand off, and attack. Okay, so let's take a look at some film. Now here we are against, in the first round playoff against Central A&M. This is, like I said, a great football team. They gave the 3A state runners-up their only loss of the year until the state championship game. So this is a 1A football team that is awesome. You can see they kicked to us 9 times. There's 10 here, but one was that was like an offsides call, so they had to redo. They kicked to us 9 times. They scored 8 touchdowns. We couldn't stop them. They really couldn't stop us either. Fortunately, we stopped ourselves. We had 4 turnovers to their 0, and that caused for a 55-27 game. I guess it was a fairly competitive 55-27, but not competitive enough. So here we go, cross return. The first one here, we'll go ahead and blow this up. So here we go. He kicks it deep, and again, we're not used to getting kicked deep to us. There's the cross. We'll take a look at the cross right now. You can see they catch it. They're attached at it by a rope. It's a little bit glitchy right now. I'm not sure why. Forward, cross. This was a return right call. So he's going to get the ball no matter what. It's a fake because it was a return right call. And I want you to see how many of these guys here on the right that this fake holds. Here's the fake. Oh, let me see if I can catch that. Run it back just a touch. Here's the fake. So this fake right here has done a very good job. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys held, and a 5th or a 6th might be biting on this as we go forward. I'll drag it forward a couple frames, and you can see even these 2 guys got sucked in a little bit farther than they wanted to. And this allows my returner to make one little move and hit what we want, which is our lane. And here you can see the lane opening up. I've got bodies. Again, look, 2 blocks that have been missed. There's probably a lot more. Like I said, we probably get between 10 to 20% of our blocks made on this. But there is still this lane opening up, and you'll see how our returner hits that lane, and there's a seam. Okay? This kid makes so many plays on this kickoff team against us. And you guys know how it is. When you play against a team that's great and probably a lot better than you, it's hard to do anything well. It's hard to get good kick returns, a lot of kick returns, to get absolutely smothered because they're better than you. This kid right here made so many plays on all these kickoffs. He was fantastic, and you'll see he ends up making this one. We hold him, And here he comes, takes an angle and makes the play. He doesn't make that play right there. We've got a huge lane. That kid is pretty special. One of the many reasons, I'm sure, why they win a lot of games. I think this one here, the third example, was a good example of the return. Here we go. They're going to kick deep to us because they can. There it is. There's the catch and the fake. Once again, we go return right. You can see how they're trying to mirror each other. My returner on the right is a little too far away, though. He should have been closer to him. I don't like how long it took them. But you'll see here comes our lane once again. Here's our wall. Here's our kickouts. Here's our lane. A nice little lane in there. And we'll see who made the play. This guy here who had a double team on him. So these guys missed their double team. And I really would like to spend some more practice time on this because you can see here's the double team. These two have a double team on this, which means this was probably number 2 and this was number 1. Here's my one guy coming to kick him out. And they touch him and he gets off and makes this play. But look at this lane. It's a really good looking lane. And we get it quite often when people kick deep. Okay, here we go. Another example. This one, I believe, we go return left. They kick it to the guy on the left, so it's going to be a handoff. They're doing a good job mirroring each other, and they cross right there. Here's the number 1 kick out. We got that kick out made. And guess who again? 3. Darn near makes that play. That kid killed us, man. All game long. He made an incredible interception later, too. But still, our kid's pretty good, too. He makes him miss, and there is that same lane. The lane is back. That lane right around the hashes all the time. Makes him miss. Here it comes. There's the lane at the hash. One last example here. Let's take a look at the front line and see how everyone converges on the middle. Can you see how really, right off the bat, all blockers converge to the middle? And right now, you really can't tell. Right now, I'll pause it here. I think it's very difficult to tell which way we're going. And I think that's the disadvantage to many cross returns out there or sideline returns is you can give away which way you're going. And you'll reverse back here or reverse fake. And there's too much tell before you even get to the fake. The fake is almost rendered ineffective. But in this instance, in my opinion, it's pretty hard to tell which way we're going right now. Now, I know because, well, I've watched a lot of this film, so I know which way we're going. But I think I would ask you at this point, can you tell which way we're going? Could you guess? If it's tough, then I think we're doing it well. So there you can see, it's a good example of my returner trying to mirror him. You see the second guy trying to back up, mirror, catches. They're so far apart, he's not getting a chance to go forward 5 yards before they cross each other. I'd like to see them a little closer together. There's the fake, and look, there's the lane once again. It closes quickly. Why? Well, because, like I said, the team, when you play a team that's a lot better than you, things close quickly. So these guys, but you can see the lane right here. And, I'll draw it up because it's fun to draw, but I think there's a very clear lane right here, and that lane has been there for us quite a bit. And we'll look real quick again at the fake. There's our fake, and we've held 1, 2, 3, I know, with this fake, and these 3 just got them to give a little juke step. They're coming straight ahead. They're waiting, trying to make up their mind. Waiting. They see it, but they're a step behind it. And then sure enough, looks like it's that number 2 guy. Here's a kick out. And we miss it. So again, you gotta find a way to coach it well so that we can stay on these blocks, keep that seam opened a little bit longer.
So that's our cross return. Log into the forums. Let me know what you think. Or I'm sorry, I think forums are up there now somewhere. Let me know what you think of the cross return. Let me know of a return maybe you're running that you absolutely love. Maybe I can pick something up. If I run into another return I absolutely love, I'm going to run it. You know, it's all about having something that you think is very effective. And if I can find another one, I will surely run another one. It's just that right now, that's by far my favorite. So I'm going to stick with it. I just want to throw out there as well, any of you that happen to be watching the Quickscreen show or keeping up with Chief Pigskin, if you have a desire to do something similar to what I've been doing with the Quickscreen show, or a desire to travel around and do shoots, there's still possibilities for guys to kind of jump on board with something like that. Just looking for a guy that would be willing to stick with some sort of commitment for up to a year, and we can work something out. So if you'd ever want to try something like this, make sure you let me know. You can contact me through the website or email me anytime, Coach Allball at chiefpigskin.com. Men, it's been fun talking football with you once again, and I'll see you next Tuesday right here on the Quickscreen show. And until then, Coach Allball.